the building. I hope you guys are ready for this episode of our Dash Master class. I am excited to be here, guys. I have put together another amazing training for you guys. I know you guys are gonna all enjoy this training. Before I jump into it, let me get this chat going on here. Let me see who's in the room. Let me open this up here. Give me 2 seconds, guys. Awesome, guys. All right, cool. Awesome, guys. So today's Dash Masterclass is going to be about niching down. And as you guys know, the topic of the month is finding your niche and figuring out where you're gonna go and take your agency so that you actually have a business that you can scale. So if you guys notice, today's topic is the riches are in the niches and what a generalist versus a specialist agency is. And so basically, the topic is extremely important because as you guys know, you've heard this in the past, the riches are in the niches. A lot of guys don't really understand what that means, and in this training, you guys are going to be very clear on what that means and why it should be, why you should look at it as a very important factor in your agency, because this is what's going to allow you to actually scale to 6 and 7 figures. So let's jump right into it. So what does this touche term even mean? So if you ask me, it comes down to 3 different things. So it's product, your processes, and where your energy goes. And so we're gonna break that down here. So the first one is the product. So the product is basically your offering. So what is it that you're going out into the market to offer, right? So is it, you know, a direct listings service? Is it a done-for-you lead generation service? So what is that product? What is it that you're going out into the market and selling? And so for every industry or every business, it's going to be different, right? Whether it's a physical product like a shoe that you're selling to a consumer wearing it, or it's a service-based product like a lead generation campaign using Facebook ads, right? So that is what the product is. So here we are. I'm going to break down 2 different agencies. So the first agency is what you call a generalist agency, and the second one is what you call a specialist agency. So a generalist agency is where the offering is service-based and custom tailored to each and every new client. And there isn't anyone you cannot work with. For example, this is the marketing agency that says, hey, I do marketing for small businesses. As you guys know, you have a lot of people who go out there into the market and say, hey, I do digital marketing for small businesses, right? And so when they go out and say that, they're like, okay, sounds good, right? Or you have what you call a specialist agency where the offer is productized. It's a service that has a specific investment, and any customer outside of your target market is considered unqualified. So let me break this down a little bit. So this is like the agency that says, our proprietary 5-step dental patient accelerator program fills up the doctor's bookings with high-value patients, right? So when you go out into the market and say that, right, instantly the person you're telling that to, they, 1, know who you're working with, right? In this case, it's a dental. 2, they know you're different because you have a 5-step dental patient accelerator program, right? Proprietary to you and your agency only. And what does that proprietary program do? Well, it fills up the doctor's bookings with high-value patients. Do you guys see the difference here? Drop a 323 if you guys see the difference here, if you guys are on the same page with the difference here. Awesome. Awesome, guys. So this right here is where you want to be. You want to be the specialist agency because you want to differentiate yourself from everybody else who sounds like I do marketing for small businesses. So those are the 2 differences there. So the second part of the process is the processes, the systems that the business or the agency owner is going to run to actually fulfill the problem that they're solving in their agency. So in this case, with a generalist agency, the systems and processes followed are always different with every client. There's no right way to do things, and there is no target market. This model right here is very, very hard to scale without you actually steering the ship. So think about this for a second. It's like if you're the marketing agency who one day works with a dentist, the next day works with a roofer, the next day works with a chiropractor, right? Think about their business. Are their pains going to be the same? Are their problems going to be the same? Are their desires going to be the same? None of those things are going to be the same. So it's like, how do you expect to treat and talk and actually service a dentist the same way that you do a chiropractor or a roofer, right? So this is basically the generalist agency where for every single new client that they hire, they literally have to start from scratch. It's like, okay, step one, we got to do research. Now we have to figure out this market, essentially figuring out what's their business model look like, and what does their sales process look like, and how do they get a lead, and what's their offer, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And it's like for every new client as a generalist agency, you have to start from scratch every single time. Now, on the other hand, you have a specialist agency, right? Where the systems and processes are always the same. They are teachable and repeatable by anyone. Everyone knows what to do and follow even when the business owner isn't present. And this is what you call a rinse and repeat model. So guys, think about how powerful this is. Think about you become the dental proprietary dental agency, right? Like I was mentioning at the beginning of this training, and you provide that program, right? Think about this, like the program is always going to be the same process and systems every single time. So the first step is find, who their target area or demographic is, like area-wise, right? Target B, or step two is, finding the best offer, whether it's A, B, or C. So it's like you build a system around that specific target audience, and you don't ever have to repeat yourself. You only got to do the work one time, and guess what? You just rinse and repeat. There's no reason to fix something that isn't broken. So guys, I don't understand why people don't just specialize in one thing, figure it out, maximize, and multiply. Because guess what? Instead of starting over every single time, why not just maximize on what's already working and scale that up until the point where you can't scale it anymore, which is, for most people, it's past 7 figures, right? No business owner is going to run out of dental clients to go after. So that's another thing, picking the right niche, a niche that has a lot of opportunity, right? So that's another thing. You want to specialize in that. You don't want to specialize in something like dog walkers, for example, right? Because there's not a lot. Don't be that guy that specializes in dog walkers. Does that make sense, guys? Hopefully that makes sense. So we're moving forward. So the third component is the energy, right? So the energy, the focus of your agency and your team, right? So in a generalist agency, you spend more energy because the focus is different with each and every client, making this model very, very difficult to predict and also scale. Breaking through the noise becomes impossible because it's unclear what makes you different. It's like you're the guy who says, I do marketing for small businesses, right? It's like, oh, okay, yeah, I also know another guy that does the same thing, right? Or another guy, and I could just search on Google and type in marketing. I see 15 people do the same exact thing, right? And without your constant focus on every step of the process, meaning the business owner, you, the agency, you will have a lot of room for inevitable failure, meaning because the process is different every single time, because the sales process is different, the pains are different, the desires are different for every single client, there's a lot of room for failure because it's new information. It's stuff you've never done before, right? And it's stuff that, because you've never actually experienced, you're going to actually have to basically trial and error up until you can get a working offer. And in that case, that can be 2-3 months, and you may lose the client at that time. So you don't want to be that agency. Versus a specialist agency, the energy is spent on the 20% that delivers 80% of the results, right? So that sounds like more where we want to be. The model is extremely focused on the same product offering, the same systems, and the same processes, and they only work with a very specific type of customer, making a model very, very, very scalable, guys, meaning they learned how to say no to people who are unqualified, right? So it's only a matter of time till the specialist agency breaks through the market and actually becomes a leader that people can actually remember, right? An authority and a specialist that agencies and other agencies and even clients can remember. It's like, oh, that dental, who does dental marketing? Oh, well, I know a guy who has a dental lead accelerator program. I know a guy, right? And it rings a bell instantly. So it's like, if you're not that agency that basically, you can just ring a bell like that and people can think of you, like, there's a lot of room for improvement, right? So doing this right is going to make you someone that people can remember, which is the most important about all of this, because that's going to generate you organic referrals from people you've never even thought of that were going to bring you referrals. Because guess what? When they think of dental or dental business lead generation, they think of you, because you're consistent and you're offering the same product, service, and offering every single day, every single time. Moving on. So pause here right quick for a minute. What do you think you can actually confidently, massively scale? Is it A, a generalist agency, or B, a specialist agency? Right? Let's see if what we got here in the chat. So we got B. B. Okay. Yeah, so B, it makes more sense, right? Because if you're B, meaning a specialist agency, you're going to build the systems one time, you're going to work with one type of customer, and you're going to have one process you're going to follow every single time, making it super, super easy for you to actually bring on more people to do those exact same things, and then eventually scale to 6 and 7 figures confidently and predictably, right? Awesome, guys. So some differences here. What is a generalist and what's a specialist? Well, a generalist wears every hat. They're the guy who says, hey, I could do this, I could do that, I could also do that over there. Hey, you want me to do that too? I could do that as well. He's the jack of all trades. He's the guy that, hey, you need marketing? Hey, yeah, maybe you can contact that guy. He might be able to help you, but I don't know. I think he does marketing, right? He doesn't have a clear target audience, right? The generalist doesn't have a specific client they work with. They work with everybody. Hey, I do everything, right? I'm the marketing god, right? They work overtime too, because since their systems aren't the same, right, they're going to work double or triple sometimes with, let's say, one random client that they get because they said yes to, and then they regret saying yes because now they've dedicated hours upon hours of extra time that they didn't allocate to this client due to the fact that they weren't expecting to run into an issue that maybe, their target audience can't be found on Facebook, for example, right? Something you don't even expect to run into. You run into it because you've never done it before, and now you have to figure it out, right? That's the generalist. And if you don't figure it out, guess what? That's your reputation, right? Another thing, they offer every service under the sun. Yeah, I can do it all. What do you need? I can do it, right? Does not have a scalable business. Try multiplying yourself. The guy who does it all, try to get someone else to do it all as well. It's very hard, right? You can't just hire some guy and says, hey, by the way, I do this, 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 this. I do it all. I need you to do the same thing. Let me train you on how to do it all. Like, you can't do that, guys. It's not scalable. It's not a scalable business. And you will not be able to relate with every new client. So ideally, when you have a specialist agency, each client will be the same or within the same industry, meaning you can relate. Oh yeah, I had client A, B, and C that we did the exact program with, and they got this result, and this result, right? They're relatable. Versus like, you get a client that's a dentist, then the next one's a chiropractor, then the next one's a physical therapist, right? There isn't anything you can really relate because each industry is different, and so you can't really leverage your past results, right? So that comes into conflict, right? They're also hard to remember because a generalist agency, like, once again, it's like, I do marketing for small businesses. Okay, great, cool. One ear out the other. When I think of marketing, if a dental practice asks me about marketing, I'm not going to think about that guy who said, I do. You know how many people have told me that they do marketing for small businesses? Like, so many. I only remember the ones who specialize in gyms or specialize in chiropractors and hey, you have a chiropractic client? This guy specializes in that, right? They become specialists. And then as a generalist, it's difficult to replace yourself once again because you can't duplicate someone who does it all, right? Now, on the other hand, you got a specialist. They wear one hat, right? They have repeatable systems, right? They focus on one industry, whether it's a dentist, chiropractic, roofing, whatever it is. They become a master at their niche. They have rinse and repeat systems. They can scale with minimum effort, meaning make more money and work less, right? They have multiple case studies and results for that niche because every client is in the same industry, which just builds upon each other. Every single new client, it's like, hey, I had this other client before. If you want the same results, this is how it works. So you can always build upon every new client that you get, you would be building upon that, right? And then you can also teach your process and your systems to others. So that's important too. It's like, okay, now I'm wanting to scale my business. I want to bring on people on my team. Now I need to have a process that I can teach them, right? Because if I can't teach them, how am I supposed to replace myself one day, Not saying that you're going to want to replace yourself one day. I mean, if you're wanting to, eventually, we all run a business to have more leverage and time and things like that. But, one day maybe you want to have more time and more leverage, so you then have to delegate some of the stuff, right? And then once again, you're easy to remember. So, that dentist marketing guy, I know somebody. He has this proprietary program, right? Hopefully that makes sense. Moving on. So, once again, the riches are in the niches, right? Target your customers, like be super specific, right? Learn how to say no. Figure out who is your client and who isn't your client, right? And there's different things that qualify to become your client once you pick a niche, and we'll get into that here in a minute. So unless you're the agency like the Generalist agency who likes to start from scratch every single time with every single new client, you can go that route as well. The option is yours. So a misconception that a lot of people think, right, because a lot of us like to skip, try to take the fast lane to success, right? And one thing that I've learned the hard way is that doesn't exist, guys. Unfortunately, you can't get to where you want, those big and bad things that you want, or the big house, nice cars, and all that, without putting in focused effort, okay? And so what this is if you look at this chart right here, the success journey, what do people perceive, right? In the first 6 months, they think, oh, all I have to do is create a logo, get some business cards, I just gotta do some networking, maybe find a mentor, right? And that's just gonna be about a 6-month process. And then within the year, I should already have my business model perfect. I already have my industry, my niche that I'm gonna pick. I've got my service down, and I can even get an investment if I want, getting it from the bank, getting a business loan within a year. And then year 2, I'm gonna be straight balling out. I'm gonna have the Lamborghini. I'm gonna have the nice car, the nice house, and all of that within year 2. And when it doesn't happen, guess what happens, guys? You get broken down. It's like you tell yourself you're not capable of it. You're a failure. You're not good enough. And it's not true. It's because, one, you may be suffering from shiny object syndrome, okay? Meaning because you see this guy doing that, so you go that route. Or you see this guy doing that, and then you go that route, right? That may be what's happening, right? Another thing, too, you just may not know that you just need to focus on one thing to get everything that you want in life, right? Because if you look at the other side of the success journey, what the actual reality of the matter is, if you look, right, the same line, right? But in this case, it's broken down by year 1, where you choose a niche, figure out what you're gonna specialize in. And then at that point, moving forward every year after that, it's extremely focused effort, guys. Extreme focused effort, which means you guys say no to everything that doesn't fall within your niche. Meaning, if you're going after dentists, you're saying no to the roofers. You're saying no to the chiropractors. You're saying no to the real estate customers, right? Because you are extremely focused on your end goal, which is becoming a master, becoming an authority, becoming a specialist in your niche where people, imagine you're the agency who does dental marketing for 10 years straight, and only dental marketing. Do you think people will remember you as that dental marketing agency? Right? Not only that, but you're going to attract big players too. You might attract dental associations. You might attract dental colleges. You might attract big players that are like, holy smokes, these guys are killing it in the dental space. But you can't say that if you're the guy who's like, tomorrow I got a chiropractic meeting, and the next day after that I got a real estate client meeting, and this and that and this and that. And it's like, those big players, they don't want to work with an amateur in their niche. They want to work with the best of the best. They want to work with an expert, right? A specialist in their niche that they can rely and put all their reputation on, right? Because you are going to be the reason that, they trust you, right? Because of your focused effort, they're like, oh, this guy doesn't play any games. This guy has the track record. He's been doing it for 10 years. He deserves the business, right? And so then at that point, you can get organic, massively organic reach. You're gonna get referrals that you don't even know what to do with at that point. And basically, you're just gonna have everything that you want at that point, and you can scale your business to anywhere you want. Let's hit the GoPro real quick. We got the team in the building.
What's going on, everybody?
What is going on? We got the whole squad.
Oh my God, this is fire.
We got Chad in the house. We got Isaac. We got Carlos in the building. Guys, they're all taking notes, by the way. You guys don't see it, but they're all taking notes. But awesome, guys. So moving on. So do you guys understand this, right? Before we keep moving forward, right, we have to take a second to really look at this and understand the expectation to success. And ultimately that this is what this is. It's like whether you go after marketing, whether you go after whatever you go after, right? You have to stay focused. At the end of the day, you're gonna have people from all angles trying to distract you because they're not focused, guys, but you are going to be, right? Because you know what the benefit is. So let's break down what a massively scalable specialist marketing agency looks like. And it's actually only 3 legs. But 99% of marketers tend to overcomplicate this and never make it past the 6-figure mark, and only accomplish being a high-paid freelancer without building an actual business valued as an asset to others. So I'm gonna break down what this is, and you guys aren't even gonna believe it. So what does it take to build a scalable specialist agency in a nutshell? Well, it's only 3 components, and that is what? 1, your prospecting. 2, your sales, and 3, your fulfillment. That is it. That is the secret weapon. Literally, if you can maximize on your prospecting method, on your sales method, and on your fulfillment, okay, which you have DashClicks for, you can take your agency to wherever you want, right? So really the only thing you need to work on is your prospecting and your sales method, which, guys, by the way, next month is going to be our prospecting month. It's the topic of the month. So we're gonna deep dive into prospecting. We're gonna give you scripts. We're gonna role play. We're gonna throw the fire. Next month after that is our sales month, where we're gonna deep dive into the psychology on how to get these sales, how to close these sales, and really how to be confident out there doing this at scale. And also teaching others, because that's also another skill set too, right? So moving on, these are the 3 legs to a massively scalable agency. Now, if you are going to be a specialist, okay, every specialist agency focuses on the TVR strategy for massive scale. What is the TVR strategy? Well, it stands for T, teachable. It's a teachable model, okay? Meaning you can teach others to do the same things that you're doing, whether it's teaching them how to do the prospecting method that you're going to apply in your business, whether it's teaching them how to do the sales method that you're going to apply in your business, or whether it's teaching them how to take that sale and fulfill them through the fulfillment strategy that you're going to be doing for your business. It's teachable, right? If you can't teach it, you can't scale it. If you can't teach it, you can't multiply it. If you can't teach it, you can't replace yourself, right? It's also valuable to your niche. Like, if you are going after dentists and you're offering a dentist, hey, Mr. Dentist, I can get you more likes on your Facebook posts. What is that? That has no value to a dentist. What is that of value to your dentist? Don't build your entire business around something that isn't going to be even valuable to the niche that you're going after, right? So 1, you got to be teachable. 2, it has to be valuable to your niche. So maybe something like, you know, once again, back to the first example, it's like I have a dental lead proprietary program, right, that fills your bookings with high value patients, right? That's the value to the niche. That program is going to bring them more bookings of high valued patients into their dental practice. Hopefully that makes sense, right? And then the R in TVR is repeatable, meaning it's repeatable by anyone. You can teach it, it's valuable to your niche, and it's repeatable by everyone. If you have those 3 components in your business model, you can scale your business to anywhere you want. 6, 7, and even 8 figures if you take it to that level, right? And then warning, guys, I want to leave you guys with a warning. Only follow this model if you want to build and scale an agency to 6 and 7 figures. Only if you want to be a high-paid freelancer that gets paid high 5 figures every month, great. Go for it. Go that route. But it's not scalable. It's not multipliable. You can't repeat that. You can't get to that 6 and 7 figure mark going that route, right? And also this will turn into a business that you can actually work on and not in, right? Because that's essentially the formula that you need to follow to get that. Moving on. So pro tip, when going after your niche, who do you want to go after and who do you want to avoid, okay? So you want to go after those who are already advertising, those who have good quality images, those who have video content for their business, right? Depending on the industry. Those who understand investing into their business, right? Those who with the intention of scaling their current business, meaning if they're already advertising, right? That would answer a couple of those questions, right? They understand investing because they're already doing it, right? They have the intention of scaling because that's why they're paying for advertising, and we can approve that here in a second. I'll show you how. They have a proven product or service, right? A business that's existing, that's actually been running for quite some time. I mean, they have a service or a product that people are buying. That's why they're in business, right? That's why they have the funds to grow it, because they already have a proven business model, right? So another thing is that you want to have someone that's there or who's going to be a full-time person dedicated to following up with the leads. If we're going to do a lead generation campaign, you want to make sure that the person that you're bringing on, the client, has someone responsible to actually handle the lead generation campaigns. Because how it doesn't benefit us as if as an agency we generate 100 leads and John Doe, the roofer over here, half of the day he's on the roof, you know, doing roof stuff, okay, and his phone's ringing, but because he's doing roof stuff and he has this super hot thing in his hand, he's not going to pick up his phone. So guess what? Now, no matter how good you are at doing what you do, it's your fault that he's not getting his intended result because you didn't set those expectations. You didn't ask that question before you even started the relationship. So guess what? I'm going to blame the agency. Right? You didn't tell me I needed somebody full-time dedicated to following up with the leads. Thanks for telling me now. You're fired. Right? You're going to get fired. Right? You don't want to get fired. Right? You want to keep your clients for a very long time. They understand what their numbers look like, right? They understand what their lifetime value is, which is extremely important. A lot of business owners think statically. It's like, I pay you $1, how many am I going to get back? If I don't make more money, I'm not going to invest anymore, right? But what they don't realize, let's say you're talking to a dentist once again. I don't know why I picked dentist, but let's just keep going with it. So a dentist, right? You know, you may start the relationship with a teeth cleaning, right? You run an ad as a teeth cleaning, right? The lifetime value of a teeth cleaning is obviously a couple bucks. It's only like maybe like 20 bucks, 30 bucks, whatever a teeth cleaning costs, right? At most, right? But that doesn't stop there, right? Because when they sit down and lay down on the thing, right? And the doctor's looking at their teeth, they're like, dude, did you know your teeth were really crooked? Obviously, maybe not like that. They have a probably professional way of saying it, but in that setting, right, where they're cleaning their teeth, he's probably going to mention or plant the seed that if he's ever thought of maybe getting braces or a retainer, depending on what the situation is, right? And so the lifetime value of that client wasn't just the 20 bucks of that teeth whitening. That turned into, if that guy says, actually, you know what? I was actually thinking about braces. That's a great thing that you brought it up. I actually looked at my teeth before I came in here and I was like, dang. I'm getting my super crooked teeth whitened, right? Like, I wish they were better looking. So if that person converts into braces or a retainer, that is easily $3,000 or $4,000 in that dentist's pocket that came from a $20 teeth whitening, right? So that lifetime value just went from what? $20 to $3,000, Mr. Doctor. So this is why you have to understand this stuff. As a specialist, you can literally paint the picture for your client like that. Like, because if you didn't know that a teeth whitening client turned into a braces client or had the potential to, you can't leverage that in a presentation. How are you going to tell a dentist to pay you $3,000 per month if you can't show him that there's a huge potential that a client that pays him 20 bucks for a teeth whitening, which is the offer they're going to run on Facebook, for example, can potentially turn into a $3,000 or $4,000 lifetime client, right? Not only that, but this doesn't stop there. They turn into referrals. If you do a great job for this guy and give him great results with his braces or his retainer, and he has a great experience from it, he's going to refer somebody else has crooked teeth. Because when he gets braces, people are going to ask him about it. It's like, hey, Johnny, where'd you get your braces from? Like, they look great. Your teeth look great. Awesome. Where'd you get it? Oh, I got my dentist down the road. His name is Angel Dentist. I don't know, right? So ultimately, it turns into a multiplied effect. So it's not just the 20 bucks. It goes a lot longer than that, and you have to be the expert to actually guide that client through that, right? Another thing is they want to have great reviews and social presence. You don't want to work with a business who has 1-star reviews and he's expecting you to change the game for him, right? You probably want to stay away from that, because if you're the marketer who promotes this guy and he may have maybe frauded somebody or did something really bad to somebody else, like, and you're the one promoting it to do it for others, like, dude, you're going to be the guy that gets blamed for basically, exposing him to more people and essentially frauding more people. So do your research, guys. Make sure you know how to say no to someone you know isn't a good fit for you, right? You want to avoid startups. That's a given, right? Because we're not in the business of building other people's businesses, okay? We're in the business of growing people's businesses. We want to avoid those looking for you to build their business for them, right? Just said that. Those who are not currently advertising, so we want to avoid those who don't know what advertising is, that don't ever invest in that. We want to avoid those with no content, images, or video assets. It's like, hey, can you do my marketing for me, but I have absolutely nothing to give you. Take my money. It's like, no, right? Like, I need some collateral here. I need you to put some skin in the game. I need you to actually provide me something I can work with, guy. Like, I'm not going to dedicate my entire weekend or day or my whole team to build your stuff for you, right? So come back to me when you have the images, when you have the videos, when you have the foundation you need to actually make this happen. I'll be here, right? So you guide him to the right direction. You don't have to say no, but if he's your right fit customer, maybe he's a dentist just starting out, he doesn't have images or clients, you don't turn him down, but you tell him, hey, it's not a right fit right now. I'm not closing the doors for you, but I'm just wanting to make sure you're set up for success so that when we do work together, we're on the same page. Simple as that, right? And you also want to avoid those who are not currently already making some type of offer. So if you go on their website and they don't have like a new patient offer, or, first timer this gets that, or, want to visit the gym, get your free personal training session on your first day, or whatever it is, like, you want to avoid that too, because they're stingy, they're greedy, they probably don't understand how, a loss leader technique works, meaning, you don't necessarily make all the money in the first sale. Like I said, it's the lifetime value. So it's like, yeah, you may lose a little bit of money up front, but what you're making every single month after that starts to add up, right? So that one customer that pays you every single month, you don't have to pay every single month for them to pay you every single month, right? Once you pay for that customer one time, they pay you every single month, every single time after that. So that's the power. Moving on. So to build a massively scalable specialist agency, you need to learn the skill set of saying no to those who do not qualify to work with you or fit your proprietary business model, guys. If you don't learn how to say no, you'll never grow an agency to 6 or 7 figures. Or if you don't learn how to say no, you can. You could create a 6-figure agency, but you're going to need an army of people. You're going to be extremely stressed. You're not going to know why you're stressed, even though you're making a lot of money, because you're all over the place. It's not scalable. You don't even know how you even got to the 6 figures that you're at, right? So it's like there's no clarity, right? And so that's why you want to learn how to say no. We are in the business of growing and scaling other existing businesses, one that has sales, customers, data, knowledge, and a sales process, and most importantly, the investment to take their business to the next level using your proprietary offer. We are not in the business of building other people's businesses. And I repeat this, and you heard me say it 2 or 3 times, because guys, it is so important. You guys are saying yes to people who don't even have a business. It's like, hey, I got this guy who wants me to do marketing for this thing and this, that, and you don't even know half of the things about his business because it's unclear. He doesn't even know anything about his business, and he's expecting you, the marketing agency, to answer those things for him. And that's not the business that we're in. Many generalist agencies tend to fall in this trap because they never learn how to say it's not a good fit. Okay? I'm gonna add a little bonus in here for you guys. Because one of the most important things is finding clients in your niche who are currently physically already advertising. So I'm going to break down a few different strategies for you guys that I've personally used. I teach everybody that does marketing these strategies because it's great strategies to implement, and all you have to do is pick one of the many, right? On top of, we do also have Insta reports, Insta sites, but this is just adding to your ammunition, right? Because you can actually integrate Insta reports and Insta sites within these strategies, and I'll show you why. These are basically just conversation starters, right? So the Google strategy, you want to find those already advertising on Google Ads. Most of them are not advertising on Facebook, for example, due to the lack of know-how. Low-hanging fruit. They don't know they can retarget all of the people that don't submit their Google or don't call their phone or don't submit their information through a Google ad. They can retarget them on Facebook, right? They don't know that. A lot of them don't, right? So this is how you do it. So the Google strategy, you first find businesses already advertising by typing the niche keyword on Google and clicking search. So in this case, I could have picked dental. In this case, I think in the example I put there, I put med spa. Right? And then the first thing that pops up on the top of Google, you'll see a little says ad, right? You're gonna see those are the guys who are running ads. So you wanna find businesses running ads by looking at the top of search results, and you'll see a little ad icon next to the website like you see in the image, okay? And then you're gonna look at their website, images, content, offers, videos, etc., to deem it as a right fit for Facebook ads, for example, or a new website like Insta sites, right? So this is just the whole purpose of finding this through this avenue is because you know if you get in contact with them, they're already paying money towards some type of advertising. So what better way to say, hey, let me show you something you may not currently be doing that can solve a big problem for your business and can save you a lot of money as well that you're currently burning to other people because they're falling off your page and going to your competitors. Guys, you gotta know your stuff, okay? And then the bonus tip is you can cross-reference and confirm they're actually running Facebook ads by going into their info and ads on their Facebook business page, and which is usually found on their website. So by clicking on the ad, you'll land on their website or landing page. You can find their website through that. Then you can find their Facebook page, hopefully through their website. And then through that, you can click info and ads on their Facebook page and actually confirm that they're not running Facebook ads so that when you do call them, right, you know for a fact that you can actually leverage the point that they're not using Facebook ads. Maybe let me show you how you can use it effectively, right? So it's basically using that to your advantage. And this is how you can structure your prospecting strategy, right? This is just a matter of picking one that's gonna work for you, what you think you can do and what you can delegate and repeat, okay? Moving forward. Another one, Groupon strategy. Once again, those on Groupon are paying, well not paying, but they're investing, their profits to be on their Groupon platform. So most of them are not advertising on Facebook, for example, due to the lack of know-how. Once again, these guys are old school. They find it easy to put their page on Groupon because it's done for you. They generate the traffic, all of a sudden they start getting sales. Whoop-de-doo. But Groupon takes half of their profits. So every single sale that they make, they're giving Groupon at least 50%. Not only that, but then they also have to retail their services at 50% just to put it on Groupon, right? So here we are. So we're gonna find the deal seekers, right? In order for them to advertise, they need to discount their retail price from 40 to 90% off of minimum requirement to actually even get on there, right? And they have to pay out Groupon 50% of their already discounted pricing. So for example, if you have a med spa, right, their retail pricing is $100, 50% off to advertise on Groupon, so right away you're at $50, so you can't put it on Groupon for 100, you gotta put it on 50. And then any sale they make, their loss to Groupon is 25, so the profit to the business owner is only $25, right? And not only that, but this is going to attract deal seekers who do not value the services at their retail value, and it is difficult to get them to come back for anything outside of Groupon rates. Use this fact to your advantage when proposing an alternative solution. So you basically use that and say, hey, like we can run the exact same offer you're doing on Facebook and actually attract people who are high valued, who actually have the pains that your service actually solves. Like someone who needs a massage because maybe they have had a long day or whatever, and we're pointing out the pains in the Facebook ad, which is how they've qualified themselves as a good fit for your service. Right, on Groupon, think about Groupon. When we go on Groupon, at least when I go on Groupon, if I'm bored in the middle of Kentucky, right, with my girlfriend, I'm gonna go on Groupon and I'm gonna search up stuff and hopefully I find like something that I can go in and do for fun, right, at a discounted rate because I don't know anything in the area, right? And so that's my methodology is like, hey, I'm going somewhere new. I'm just gonna go with, the best deal in the area. And so in this case, I go to Groupon because no one's running a freaking Facebook ad. right? So there's your opportunity. Like, they could have caught me with a Facebook ad if they targeted the area that I visited, and they could have got me to come into their business if they did it the right way. There's your opportunity. Use that to your advantage. Here's a little script. Give you guys a little script for you guys there. So you can have your VA do this, and only after you document yourself doing it first, okay? So you never want to get someone else to do something up until you've actually done it yourself first, right? So the script goes something like this. Hey, Bobby, I noticed you're a lipo laser practitioner in the Miami, Fort Lauderdale area. I saw that you were advertising on Groupon, but don't have a Facebook pixel installed on your website, ? You can add additional clients to your spa. I'm curious, do you have room for additional lipo laser clients? Right? You can have your VA do that 100 times, 200 times a day, right? You document yourself doing it, right? You could send that message via direct message. You find their Facebook page via the Groupon. You open a direct message, you could send that, okay? You could email it, right? You can call them and say this. But whatever you do, if they reply, you stop everything that you're doing and you get the guy that's doing the sales for you, right? Or the prospecting to turn it into a sale to call that person back. And so when you call that person back, the goal should be to set an appointment to show them your actual program, right? So, hey, that's great. I'm just following up to your message, to response to your message. Just want to ask you a few questions, see if this is going to be a right fit for you, right? And the questions you would ask there is to qualify them. Hey, what are you currently doing, et cetera, et cetera. And then you would, if you deem them as a right fit, once again, and we're going to go through this in more depth in the sales module in the sales month, right? So I'm not going to deep dive into that right now. But, you know, once you deem them as a right fit, that's when you would then churn them in, set an appointment for your actual presentation where you're going to show them your proprietary program. Okay. Moving on. Another really good one. Finding people at in-person events, right? Associations, Chamber of Commerce. I personally got my first few clients from a Chamber of Commerce. What I would do is I would basically wear a nice suit, right? I would show up, right, with no intentions whatsoever other than to start a conversation with someone that I knew I could help, right? And in my time when I was doing it, I was going after chiropractors at the time, okay? And what I did is I had the intention to only speak to chiropractors when I went to these events. And a lot of the times when I would go, I would make sure they're there in the first place. But when you're first starting out, you can go after one or you can go after many just to get your feet wet. But ultimately the goal is to pick the people you want to work with. You can literally go to a Chamber of Commerce, check out everyone who's there, right? And scope out the people you do want to talk to and the people you don't want to talk to. And then what you do is you just walk around, right? And you just stop at their table and then they're just going to start talking to you. They're going to say, hey, I'm the best dentist in the world. I do this, I do that, I could do this. We're here, we're located here. We'd love to have you, la-da-da. And then that ultimately turns the tables around to asking you, hey, but what do you do? Right? And if I deem them as someone I want to work with, well, I'm going to say, well, that's a great question. I actually help people just like you grow their business with more high-valued patients. And that right there, ladies and gentlemen, is how you start a conversation, okay? Only if, obviously, I want to work with them. But if I don't want to work with them, right, I'm going to say, yeah, I do some marketing. But I wouldn't even be in that scenario because I wouldn't have stopped at their table in the first place. So, businesses found at networking events with a booth or trade show paid to be there 9 out of 10 times. They set up a stand to get local exposure and to get recognized. Perfect place to meet the business owner, employees, qualify the business, and most importantly, ask for the appointment. Okay? I'm gonna put this, these are literally step-by-step instructions that I'm basically gonna also put this in a downloadable asset, guys, so you guys can have this and you guys can look at it like this and take the strategy home and figure out how you're gonna implement it in your business. But basically, it's basically a rundown of what I just said. You come professionally dressed, professional etiquette, right? Without any branding or logos on your shirt or materials, right? You wanna scope out the venue before engaging, scan the floor and get a good idea who's at the event. And then basically what you wanna do is you wanna write down who you ideally wanna work with, learn more about, ideally those in your niche. Not everyone will be a good fit. And then you can start by walking down working on your list and approach them so you could start telling them more about your business, right? But before you tell them about your business, you're gonna let them tell you about their business, right? Let them tell you everything about it. Let yourself collect information so that you can then leverage that when you start talking, and then you can show them how you can help them grow their business. Okay, you want to show empathy and interest in their business. Once again, let them talk, listen before you talk. Okay, ask a lot of questions, show interest, right? Engage, right? Get back and forth, conversate, right? You want to gather information and naturally they will ask you what it is that you do. Okay, you're going to briefly give them your elevator pitch and transition to if you would like to learn more and you think I can help you, let's set up an appointment to talk another time, whether it's the next day or the next week or whatever. You never want to talk about what you do in the same setting of you meeting that person for the first time, okay? You never want to meet a dentist at a Chamber of Commerce, say, hi, my name is Angel, I do dental practice proprietary program for dental, and I can grow your dental agency, right? I could grow your dental practice, right? And then this is how I do it, this is how I do it, this is how I do it, this is how I do it. Are you interested? Don't do that, okay? Because you're devaluing yourself, going and spilling it all like that. You sound thirsty, you sound like you're not a professional. So what you want to do is say, hey, if you believe that you're a right fit right now to grow, if you think you have the capacity to handle more dental patients for your business, I would love to set an appointment for you tomorrow or the next day so we can walk you through our program to see if it's a right fit. How does that sound? Right? You get their appointment, you schedule them in for the next day with your sales team or with yourself, whoever's doing that right now in your business, and then you now can then do a structured professional presentation where they scheduled an appointment with you, so now you're in power, and now they essentially gave you permission to sell them. Because in a setting where you approach them, hi, my name is Angel, I'm the best dental marketer in the world, I could do the marketing for you, do you need help? They're in power. They didn't contact me, okay? So if I turn the tables around and say, hey, I can help you set an appointment, they have to set an appointment with me. Now they're coming to me, not me coming to them. Now I'm in power. Now I can sell them whatever I want. Okay? So that's the way you want to do it, whether it's in an event, airport, when you're speaking to somebody who you can help. Always set an appointment for the next day, a following day, or some other time outside of that time that you're there with that person, okay? Moving on. So this, once again, you can delegate this as well. So you want to find events, associations, Chamber of Commerce opportunities for the year where you could target, your target market will be. So finding your niche, figuring out where they're going to hang out, where are the trade shows, where are the associations, document your process, okay? Then you want to hire and delegate an army to repeat the process. So you can get people to go to these events for you, to go to these associations for you, to do this exact thing. Talk to your ideal market, get their appointment, build the trust, set their appointment for the actual proprietary program, and then close them on a long-term client. And guys, this is so powerful because the people you meet in person, these guys will love you forever because you have that personal connection. Think about how you feel when you meet someone in person versus when you only meet them online. Big, big difference, right? You actually feel like if I need to hug that marketer, I can because he just brought me tens of thousands of dollars this month, okay? If they want to go out for coffee or buy you lunch, they can because, you know, you're right down the road, okay? So this is very, very important. If you don't have a client yet, this is an extremely, really, really good strategy for you, okay? And then you can pay them for appointments. So the team that you hire, you can first train them to do this door-to-door with businesses or local events and associations, and then you can pay them for per appointment and add an additional incentive bonus if the appointment actually turns into a paying customer, right? So if you incentivize the person that you're going out there and teaching them how to go out to these events for you to set appointments, incentivize that, hey, if you build a great relationship with these guys, if you get these guys to sign on board with your appointment, with your skills, with everything that you do, and they sign up because of you, I'm going to give you a bonus when they sign up and pay for the program, right? They're going to freaking sell for you forever, okay? Because it's a good deal, all right? You can also find clients in magazine and mailers that are already advertising. You could check your mail for local newspapers, magazines, brochures with local business ads. These go underestimated. Meanwhile, the business owner is paying hundreds, sometimes thousands of dollars per month to put their business in them. Show these businesses an alternative where they can allocate their funds with pros versus cons for each, and then and how it can convenience them to give it a shot. So essentially what that means is you want to make sure you can pinpoint the pros and the cons of being in a magazine, okay? So essentially, what are the pros of being in it? Great. The cons is you can't track it, you can't scale it, they're not predictable, you can't just put more money in it and make more sales, okay? So there's a lot of cons and less pros, okay? And so you want to just reach out to these guys and help them allocate that money a little bit differently, okay? This is a strategy on how you can get it. If you check your mail-in in your area, you do not receive any of these mailers, search on Google for trade magazines in your niche and order them to come directly to your home or office. You can also go to your local library, go to magazines section, find the magazines in your niche, then find the subscription info so you can order them for yourself. Most of the time, these magazine articles come out every single month. These business owners pay a lot of money to be in them. And it's like getting high qualified leads in your niche coming straight to your mail every single month. Guys, there's so many opportunities in there. And you can get all of your friends and family to look out for these for you and have them save them instead of throwing them out. So when you see them next, you get a nice little care package of new leads, guys. Because typically, if we're not going to use this to our advantage, we typically throw them out because no one looks at these mailers and uses the coupons in them, right? So allocate and show people how you use them so they're looking out for you and sending you these new mailers to you every single month, and that way you have a ton of leads that you can reach out to that are in your niche, okay? Another one is Craigslist, okay? You can find people on Craigslist that are looking to advertise. So right here, if you look, this social media expert for musical artists. There it is in the headline. They're looking for a social media expert for musical artists, right? So instead of doing all the searching, just find people that are already looking for the skill set. Guys, just go to Craigslist, type in Facebook ads or digital marketing, and then search through the local search results. As simple as that. And guess what? All you have to do is this. Get a VA to find all the businesses in your niche, have them make an Excel sheet, have them add the business name, email, and any contact info that they can find on the business, and then all they have to do is email them this. Hey, attention business in Miami. My name is Angel, I do marketing, I would love to help you out. Simple as that. Guys, they literally are saying in the headline over here, social media expert for musical artists. They're literally telling you to reach out to them just like this. I do marketing. I would love to help you out. If they reply, drop everything and call them. Okay? So to recap, remember, pick a niche, pick a strategy, whether it's any of the ones I showed you, whether it's Insta sites, whether it's Insta reports. Remember, there's 3 legs to business. It's prospecting, sales, fulfillment. Pick a strategy for prospecting, right? Pick a strategy for sales. Your strategy for fulfillment is DashClicks. You don't have to work there. Document your strategy for prospecting, document it for sales, document it for fulfillment. You don't really need to because DashClicks will do it, and then remove yourself. So you could focus on the business and actually become a specialist. Okay? And I'm gonna leave this time for Q&A. If we have any Q&A, I'll leave this open here for Q&A for a second. All right. Awesome, guys. So I hope that this was extremely helpful for you guys. For those struggling to figure out what niche to go after, literally pick one that you know you can build systems around, that you can reach out to, that you understand, that you have extreme clarity on how everything works from A to Z, so that you can then focus on your prospecting strategy, whether it's Insta sites, Insta reports, going to Chamber of Commerce, going to Craigslist, going to Groupon, going to Google Ads. Whatever that prospecting strategy that you feel like is a good fit for you, and you could do multiple as long as you systemize it, okay? And you need to systemize it so you don't have to do it yourself, and you can put someone to do that for you. And then they'll do it and generate you appointments for your sales team or yourself at the moment. And then you would then, once again, document that, record your sales calls, write a script, make sure that everything that you're doing is the same every single time, every single call, so then you can once again, remove yourself and replace yourself to scale. And then the fulfillment, once again, is done by DashClicks, which makes it so freaking easy for every single one of you to take your agency to 6 and 7 figures. So guys, everything that you need is listed here on a silver platter. All you guys need to do is take action and literally make it happen for your agency. So Once again, to kind of just remind you guys, next week is going to be our agency influencer secrets. So we're going to be bringing on an influencer on board. So that's going to be super exciting. And then also next month, November, is going to be the month of prospecting. So we're going to literally deep dive into prospecting. We're going to give you tons of different strategies, more than what we just taught here. But guys, so you guys can have so many different opportunities to actually go out and scale your agency. And then December is sales, which is going to be also amazing, where we're going to deep dive on how to convert everybody that you're starting conversations with into high valued clients that pay you for a very, very long time. So super exciting of what is to come. Hopefully this training was extremely valuable for you guys. If you guys have any questions, post them in the group, and I'll go ahead and make a video for you guys to further clarify. But other than that, guys, it was a pleasure. I hope you guys take action on this information, and I can't wait to see where you take your agency next. Take it easy, guys.